is working. On one hand, I'm not hearing the sound on my end. On the other hand, I think it's going through. Hello! I think, you know, funnily enough, I think the audio from my game is correctly streaming, but I'm not hearing it because Minecraft does that sometimes. And I definitely... So I'm doing a modded thing, and I know I have a mod that's supposed to refresh the audio for this exact error that you run into sometimes in Minecraft. But I don't remember what the key is, and I would close out I would close out Minecraft and reopen it. It's just a thing that I've done before, except that when running modded, it actually takes quite a long time to load. So I do not want to have to, like, in fact, I usually try to start like about 2 minutes into my stream starting soon screen, but this time it took longer, and that was partly because I was waiting for Minecraft to load. So, alright, it's, yeah, so this is like so I'm gonna be starting up a new solo world, and I'm pretty excited about it. And at some point, like, you know, when I get more viewers, I'm happy to like post mods listed, but for now, for people that know me, you know, most people who are going to be watching me are people who know me and either already have access to my personal Discord server or can ask me for access for it, and you can check the list of mods there because it's going to be the same mod pack as the private server that I have that I posted about there. Right. What would the audio thing have been called? At this point, you always have to wonder, is the shortcut that I'm looking for actually taking longer than the long version of if I had just... Nope, reload audio driver, found it. F3 plus R or F3 plus Q. So, I'm gonna try that. 3Q. No? Well, maybe I have to be in the game. Not being able to hear the sounds is really gonna get to me. I've decided I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the thing. The thing where my screen is black because I'm going to reload the game. Oh, please, please, please actually go to my headphones this time. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, that is what I am doing. In fact, just restarting it. All right. Oh man, I'm tempted to like pull up. You know, actually, this could be a fun little experiment to pull up a random window in my stream. I guess I would just have to add a window capture. No. Okay, basically what I'm trying to do is... Maybe the game will load before I actually succeed at doing this, but I had this thought where I was like, oh, I can show people how much of my CPU it uses. Oh, but I'd have to figure out how to show my taskbar performance window on the stream. And I'm not sure I'm actually that proficient. I think it would be a window capture. Add source. But when I try to do... Oh, there. Let's see. I succeeded. This is, like I said, a good experiment because I want to know how to do that. So it's in fact just now Minecraft has just loaded, but now if I ever want to show off what's going on in my performance on my computer, and I did give this some consideration, as long as I'm on the performance tab, this shouldn't be any like weird information to display, and you can see how cool my computer is. Maybe I can be one of those streamers who posts my computer specs in my profile, except that I worry that might make me sound like someone who actually is like a try-hard gamer, and I am not. I am a casual gamer who likes playing games for fun. And there we go. That is a lot of CPU it's using. Yeah, it's particularly the mod in Minecraft when it loads, because it's having to load every single mod, and it does that in advance, so it like just maxes out the CPU, at least on mine. I have a decent CPU, but I have considered replacing it just for gaming purposes. Alright. Oh, and I was gonna start the new world on my stream, so... which is, of course, now. So, I don't have a name for it yet. Gosh, I feel I should have thought of that, or come up with an idea for a name for the world before I started streaming. But here we are. Oh, I am gonna side note very quickly to be like, look at this. Actually, I'm not sure I can get it to show with the Zoom background. Anyway, I'm drinking a very cool tea. It is a bottled tea. It is Itoen Matcha Genmaicha. And it is very cool and very tasty. Alright, PenguWorld. How about PenguWorld? That sounds good. Alright, so this is gonna be a survival game. I am not interested in... oh wait, what was I putting in before then, if that wasn't the name of the world? Well, that will be the name of the world. So this is going to be difficulty normal. I know, like, people like to do the hardcore thing, but... and that's, like, one of the more popular things, but nope. I'm here to be chill and casual and not die in hardcore mode. Because I'm going to be streaming this, I'm going to do no cheats. I hope I will not come to regret that. Just because I gotta admit, when you're in a solo world, it is sometimes nice to be able to do cheats, but nah, I'm gonna stick with survival, difficulty normal, no cheats. I'm gonna turn on the bonus chest, though. I think bonus chests are nice. And I do not care what it does for a seed. We'll find out. Okay. This is probably going to take a minute. Because this is also going to take a minute to load. Oh, I wonder if the task manager will show... oh, no, there we go. We've got a little loading percentage thing here. But yeah, I think this would take a long time regardless of if it's modded or not. Just because first time world generation, it's trying to generate a whole chunk. Another thing of some level of relevance to if anyone is like watching this back and is interested in things like the new version of Minecraft that's releasing at the end of this month. I did, after I had decided to start a new world today, think about how maybe I should have waited to do that until I could actually do it in the new version, but what I think I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to avoid... I'm going to stick to two directions when I go exploring until the new version comes out, so that when I load it... so Minecraft, if you haven't gone to an area of the world, it just won't have decided what biomes or whatever are there. So if I want new biomes to have a chance of spawning close to my spawn area, then the really easy way around that is just avoid going in certain nearby directions, so that those chunks have just never been loaded. So I don't know if that made any sense from a not knowing Minecraft's perspective, but doesn't really terribly matter. Point being, I will be able to add the new content from the new release coming out the end of this month without having to change my world. Anyway, that aside, and another relevant thing, so the very first thing that comes up in this world, I love the Origins mod. I have, in fact, a lot of origins you're not really going to see most other places. This is a custom mod pack that has a bunch of default, well, like, there's a bunch of origins mods out there, and then some of the more D&D style ones, I'm actually not 100% sure where they came from, but I got the coding for them from a mod pack called Euphoric Curiosity, which is one I play on a lot, and so I just sort of borrowed some of the data packs for my personal use. I'm not using the Euphoric Curiosity mod pack. I'm using my own custom blend because I like having the control over what is and isn't in the world. Like, there's this mod, and it's a nice mod but it's a mod that makes the world very dangerous, and I don't always enjoy the world being very dangerous. There's actually a couple mods like that. But anyway, enough of that. So I have many options to choose from for my origin, and I would go through them all, but since this is a single player world, I don't feel like there's a huge need to, because I know the one that I'm planning to play. Oh gosh, there are so many options. And that is Grung, which is one of the D&D origins. So the things that a Grung, the traits of a Grung, both good and ill. So Grungs are amphibious, which means I can breathe in both air and water. Unlike, I mean, obviously the default is to not be able to breathe in water, but there's also the original Origins mod pack has a origin called Merling, which is also in here, where you actually literally can't breathe on land. So you can breathe both air and water. However, in exchange, the Merling origin basically gives you creative mode underwater, like you're just like super fast and you can see clearly and all this other stuff, and I don't get any, and the Grung origin does not get any of that, which is how it just a balancing thing. Right, water dependency. So this is kind of an interesting thing on the Grung. Grungs must stay damp, basically. If you go too long, there's a little water meter that'll show up in my bottom right hand corner of my screen, and if it runs out, I basically just end up, well, it says here, exhausted, slowed, and weakened, which are all status effects. It's not a great time. Grungs are also small. You are half as large as a human and have fewer hearts, 7 exact, and deal slightly less damage. So it's a small origin. It's not as small as a lot of people will know the Inchling origin, because the thing that popularized the Origins mod, of course, is that there's a lot of popular streamers, many of whom I watch, who started a group SMP where the main feature, I guess, is the Origins mod. And so the Inchling thing, which is another option I have as well, is like your character is a half block tall and has like doesn't take falling damage and some other stuff. But I've played with the Inchling origin and I find half a block tall is just too small. But I love the 1 block tall. I think it's a good happy medium between full 2 block height and half block height. So if you want to be small but you don't want to deal with quite the level of intense small. The Grung, being a shorter origin, has a 20% move speed, slower than normal moving speed, which is a little annoying, but it kind of makes up for it by having a leap ability, which is that you can jump 4 blocks high. And that's the thing that I love about, one of the things I love most about this origin, is like, why walk when you can just hop? Because it is a frog. And then the sticky feet you can climb on any surface, which is toggleable on and off. That's one of the other main skills, is so I can just climb up and down walls as I see fit, except unlike the Inchling, which also has this ability, the Grung does not have immunity to fall damage, which is always an exciting thing to look out for. But this is also a heavily modded world that'll eventually be able to collect items that prevent me from taking fall damage. And finally, poisonous skin. You poison attackers when struck and are immune to poison. Alright. I'm not going to go nearly so long explaining the other things, but the origins are just like one of my favorite parts of the mod pack, and so I just really wanted to take some extra time to explain what the origin did and some of the thought behind it. Once again, I have many non-standard. So there is a standard mod like Origins classes, which is where many of these come from, but this also has a couple non-standard ones that I once again got from the Euphoric Curiosity mod pack. And I already know what I want, and that is Looter, which technically you can get both of these abilities through various enchantments or items in the game, but I like having them to start off with, and like just so the thing Internal Instinct, your pickup range has doubled. I've found, I'm not sure if this is intentional, but it also gives this effect that I think I've also seen as an enchantment called like Magnet or something like that, where you sort of absorb all the items near you, and if they don't fit in your inventory, they'll just swirl around your feet. Even as you keep walking, they'll just kind of follow you until you can actually pick them up. And I just find it's really funny for one, and two, it's super convenient for like harvesting, farming crops, which since I also have a mod that involves a lot of farming, that is super handy. And then of course it also just gives you the looting enchantment like you can get on weapons and such as a default skill. So, all right. And now that I've wasted oh gosh, why are you moving so slow? Hopefully it's just because it's loading the chunks for the first time. And once it has loaded them, it will stop being that laggy. But yes, so finally at long last, I shall actually start playing. My starter chest. Oh wait, I don't know why that I would even think of that as a bad thing. I could just be underwater if I want. Alright, my starter chest has given me some basic tools and apples, and that makes sense. And then also seeds, but specifically chili seeds, which is sort of oddly specific. Right, so there's a thing. And you know what? I still can't actually hear. I've only just realized that I still do not have sound. And I think that this game should pause when I am like that, because it's single player, but I'm gonna see where the sun is in the sky so I can figure out how long I've got. It's not like Hardcore World, so it's not terrible if I'm stuck out overnight. But wait, where is the sun? There we go. Hello. Yes, I have confirmed successfully pausing the game. Alright, so fun fact, that whole thing where I was like, why can't I hear the sound? Why is my audio reloader not working? Why is it not going to my headphones? I have discovered the answer. And the answer is that this is the plug for my headphones. It was not plugged in anywhere. Funny thing. It's a good thing that my mic is a separate object. I mean, I probably would have noticed faster if it had been, if I was still using the headphones as my mic, I would probably have noticed faster. But yeah, funny thing, headphones don't work too well if you don't have them plugged into anything. Right, so shoot. That seems to have thrown off my stream audio. Oh, wait, has it? Yeah, yep. I think it might have. Oh, technical issues. Can you hear my game audio? Okay, maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm just not seeing the noise thing. Let me try chopping a tree. Can you hear that? I'm not seeing it show up as something that is causing noise, so... Oh, right, and also, Ha! Ha ha ha! mod. That mod I was so excited about. I made it do the thing, and it just worked. It just worked! I don't have to reload the game again. I'm very excited about this. Alright, alright. Distractions aside. And it's so nice. I love being 1 block tall. Oh yeah. Obligatory F5 mode. Also, my skin is very cute. If you have not seen it before, I love it. I made it myself. But yeah, let me see. I'm trying to think of something I can stand. Oops, sorry. That was a weird, bad perspective. There. I just want to show off that I am little. Little. So little. What is the screenshot key? There we go. So little. Alright. Oops. There we go. So it is, there are a lot of things that are convenient. Let me not leave all these trees half chopped. Let me actually finish chopping them. There are a lot of things that are convenient about being 1 block tall that, in a way that I was finding, were more... You get a lot of the same benefits that the Inchling has without quite the same intensely different level of gameplay. Oh, and this is another mod. Once you have chopped all of the requisite logs, the leaves on the trees decay very fast. Which I really, really like because, gosh, I hate, like, that's just a minor quality of life thing. Tree leaves in standard Minecraft are just so slow to break. And I have found myself many a time just standing there waiting for long periods of time for all the leaves to actually break down. Now, of course, they don't break down if they wouldn't naturally. So that one's not breaking down because it's still got logs in it. That one's also... And the leaf blocks here are attached to 2 other sets of leaf blocks that still have logs attached. So anyway, that's just Minecraft physics. Means that once I chop this tree, it will get most of that other block of leaves. No, all of it? Almost all of it. And then eventually I'll get, like... I guess I could just use a wooden plank. I just need to get higher. Boop, 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 boop. Do, do, do. Hopefully that's the last one. Yeah! And I'm gonna leave that plum tree up because it's a nice and useful tree. Do, do, do. And I am gonna start building a house pretty shortly here. I'm gonna do it over the water. I've got a whole design in mind because I've played this origin on other servers and have come up with a little standard house design that I like a lot for the grung. And I might as well just make it where this box already landed. In fact, that was part of what made me go, oh yeah, that is a design I could do, and then just, you know, over the water where that box is and take advantage of how the game loaded me in. I feel like I had started to say something before I said that, but I don't remember what it was. Oh yes, there is another thing that I'm going to set up as soon as I've finished chopping down this tree, and that is... oh no, oh no, why trees got to be just too tall? I mean, probably these would not have been too tall if I was not also shorter. Alright. Oh. I did put... yeah, so... anyone who knows me, or if you look at the tags on my thing, I did put neurodivergent, and that means a couple of things, but also specifically ADD, so if I am, like, getting distracted during things... Anyway, I just want to check out that jump block height! I am frog. Maybe at some point I will make a custom skin for this, so I can actually have, like, a froggy skin. Alright, I really like the hopping around mode. And, back to, so, you know, your basic standard, of course you gotta set up a crafting table, but other fun thing, there is a modded thing I can do, which requires me to have several more planks. So and also some sticks. And I need some signs. Oops, nope. That's trapdoors. That's the sign. Oh, and then one more crafting table. And crafting table plus sign equals pocket crafting table. It's one of my favorite modded items. It's just, as a person who has spent a lot of time in various worlds going exploring and then having to like stop and place a crafting table every single time, and when I first saw this item I was just like, that is the most magical thing. It's just boop, and then you have the whole crafting table interface by right-clicking on the item. It's very much a mod-only thing, and I like it a lot. It's one of my just favorite basic tools. And I apologize, I keep kind of like, I feel kind of fidgety today, and I keep kind of moving around, and I feel like that probably is looking weird with my camera filter, but I'm gonna try not to worry too much about it. I want there to be more of a shoreline here. I don't want there to be a 2-block height right where I'm planning to build. I don't know. Oh, hello, red squid. Fascinating. Gonna make some slabs. Need more planks. Boop. Oh, that was probably more slabs than I needed by a lot, but that's okay. And I'm gonna expand this area, and I want to build out to there, but I guess I could add. I feel like the spacing is a little awkward for how to get to the shore from there, but I can also just augment the shore. Like, removing stuff from the shore is not the only option. There! Yeah. I like that a lot better. Okay. And now, boop. And this will be how I make my floor. Because this is, I mentioned when I was going through the origins, the grung origin has this dampness meter, and I get lots of negative effects if it runs all the way out. My thought was basically, and I found that this went really well when I've done it on other, on mod pack servers that I've been on, is have my house be slightly in the water, and I find it inconvenient to be all the way underwater because I have still like not slowed, but like things like breaking blocks is still a lot slower for me underwater, unlike like a fully aquatic origin would be. So this struck me as just a really, really good midpoint for amphibious need to be damp, but do not want to be fully submerged in water. I mean, it's fine for I can be submerged in water for, like, ad infinitum, but... Oh, I got too distracted, and now it's gonna be night. And see, the fact that I have barely even started on my house is why I did not do this as a hardcore world. I think it would be... A lot of it is just, I've actually talked about this on other streams before. I don't really enjoy hard mode anything. Like, I prefer to play games in sort of a more, like, chill, casual way. So, like, anytime a game has difficulty meters, I'll usually put it on, if not the lowest, then, you know, pretty close. So for Minecraft, it's not... If it's a story-based game, I will always put it to the easiest possible setting, because, like, my goal in story games is never going to be the fighting, it's going to be the story. But in the case of a game like Minecraft, like, I am doing survival because I like survival mode, but I don't like... Well, I don't... care for roguelike games personally. It's just not like I feel like I've said this on stream before, but like I feel like I have few enough viewers. It's fine if I repeat myself a bit. And even if I had more viewers, it's probably also fine for me to repeat myself in general. But roguelikes are often not fun for me. I just don't like losing all my progress, I guess. So anyway, I enjoy there being a little bit of a challenge, but I don't like there being so much of a challenge that I just die a lot, that it's not fun. So, and if it and that differs a bit from story games, because if it's a story game, there's always the story, but Minecraft, there's a lot of elements, there's a lot of things going on in Minecraft, but maybe I should use the birch, actually, for the walls. What was I gonna say? There's a lot of things going on in Minecraft, but it's not, but, some level of mobs, like having the mobs and having them be able to attack you and stuff is like feels like, I wouldn't say it's intrinsic to the gameplay, because like you can play on creative mode, but it's like intrinsic enough to the way that I like to play the game that I wouldn't have wanted to turn it off entirely. So hence survival normal mode, and it's only normal mode because easy mode is really easy, and peaceful mode is just like, you know, it's fine to play on peaceful mode, but like if I was gonna do peaceful mode, I feel like I might as well just done creative. And I mean, different people might approach this differently, that's just my personal approach, but I'm not trying to say like my way is the only way or anything like that, or cast judgments on people doing it other way. It's just the way I feel about it. Alright, so we have a basic structure. I'm also totally I am also totally playing Animal Crossing, so only like 75% paying attention. Yeah, no worries. One of my goals actually is to be like a chill background type streamer, because you know there's different ways to be a streamer and to watch streamers, and I know like I have a lot of streamers that I watch that are just kind of nice to have on in the background, and I'm at any given time only sort of half paying attention, or like, you know, I'll switch between paying half attention or paying full attention. So, and that's just kind of like a model that I like, so certainly it is a thing I have considered that I would like to be a casual background streamer. So if you can be like watching me and also doing another thing, then that is a good test case scenario. Alright, so my next goal is to get the walls high enough. I kind of want to like have them not much higher than I can jump, but like I can jump very high, so. Oh no, I ran out already. Oh, am I also on a little island? Oh, how nice. This can be, you know what, now that I don't know how it took me that long, like I've been playing and I've been on this island the whole time, and I've only just, like, looked and noticed that it is a little island not directly connected to the mainland. But that's okay. That means that I will probably want to clear this whole layer of dirt then, and then this will be my grand farming adventure place. But if I'm going to do a whole bunch of clearing of dirt, I want a specific tool before I do that. That is also a modded tool, but I need to actually get to the point where I have, like, stone. And that's just not my priority. Like, my first priority in this case, I mean, I could kind of do it in whatever order, and being, you know, not on a particularly high difficulty. I'm actually surprised I'm not getting any mobs spawning on this island, but I'm not complaining because it's convenient. Like, yeah, mobs are spawning, so it's not like there's something busted there. So yeah, I'm gonna focus on getting the house like good to go, and then I will work on going mining. So step 1 is house, and also while I'm working on it, I'm gonna go plant a couple more trees so I can maybe do some work on the wall, and then when I run out again, maybe some of these trees will have grown. That might be too close together. Let's try right there. No, I don't want it to mess with the plum tree. So, right there. It's cutting a little close, but if I cut this tree down, it should be fine. I'm gonna turn my space heater off briefly. I even I normally just will wear a top layer shirt. Like, I don't know, I overthink wearing hoodies, but then I thought about it and I'm like, if I'm cold I should wear a hoodie, and by wearing hoodies I mean wearing them on stream. Or I should wear some kind of sweatshirt thing, and so I actually am wearing a sweatshirt today, but then that ended up meaning that I had the heater on and higher than it needed to be because it's gonna get cold again real fast, but in the short term it got too warm. Oh goodness, also my heat is actually broken right now. Like, this would be a problem regardless because my office gets very, very cold. It doesn't have very good insulation. So it gets cold very fast in the winter, and it gets hot very fast in the summer, and it's just never easy to temperature control. But and I'm gonna be giving this a cute little igloo. Oh, that sounded like oh, hello, Sanders Minecraft. I just got a new follow, so thank you. Welcome to my stream. It says it on the title, but I am just starting up a single-player modded world. And I am still setting up my house. I'm playing on. I'm just assuming that the person who just followed me is probably watching. Hello. So this is a modded world that includes origin mods. My origin is basically a frog. Hello, I am good. Responding to chat, hey, how are you? I am doing pretty great. I'm pretty excited about starting up this world. Like, I was playing on, like, I've been kind of going back and forth on if I wanted, like, I really like modded Minecraft, and I was debating on whether I wanted to just, like, make a solo world. And there was a part of me that was like, well, everyone else does hardcore, but then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna play what I want to play, because that's, like, I'm not gonna say the point of streaming, but, like, I feel like that's the best approach to streaming, is to just play the things you want to play, and the thing I want to play is modded Minecraft. Oh, yeah. Need to get back on top of the wall. So, I have a frog origin that requires me to stay moist, damp, must not dry out, and because I am a frog, I am 1 block high. What does solo world mean? Oh, so, I mean, in this case, it literally just means a single player world. Like, you know, as opposed to a multiplayer server. So, like, before I've been playing Minecraft on Hypixel server, and I like the Hypixel server, but I'm still sort of trying to figure out how it works, and the last couple times I streamed on it, I felt a little self-conscious about the fact that I kept kind of having to figure out what I was doing on stream, and I was like, you know what I wouldn't have to do that with is this mod pack that I've been spending all this time on, and have, like, long since learned the ins and outs of. I may soon be getting to a point where it's going to annoy me sufficiently to not have stone tools that I should So does it mean that no one else can join you, or just that you don't want them to? In this case, it means that no one else can join. I could maybe open it up to LAN, but like I set it up as a single player world, and generally speaking, now I'm actually kind of curious. Yeah, I could open it up to LAN, but there's no option to open it up to to have a server that other people could join. And I do unrelatedly have a private server, and I'm like, I do have idle dreams of someday when I have like a base of followers and all that I would absolutely want to do like subscribe, like, you know, again, in the faraway future. I'm not even an affiliate yet. No one can subscribe to me, but I have this sort of idle dream of creating a subscriber SMP. Well, I'd probably do subscribers and anyone who is like VIP. And if I get if I start actually getting a follow base, I will start making like people who actually know me probably put VIP. But I know there's like a limit on how many people you can give VIP mode to. I mean, I could also just like, I suppose, give like friends and family like mod privileges, but I don't want to set that as an expectation. Like, there are definitely some people I actually want to talk to about how comfortable they would be with me giving them mod privileges, not with the expectation that they would be regularly active modding my streams so much as just so I'd have more people that I trust that have those capabilities. Like, if I don't notice something. Is something quacking in my game? Yes, it is. In fact, now that you've mentioned it, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at Mr. Duck over there. Once I find it. Alright, it was quacking around here. I also am very pleased that there is bees. I like bees quite a lot, so. Duck. There is a mod I've got installed called Promenade, which adds some extra biomes and animals, and ducks are one of them. They're little quacky boys. They're very like chickens, they're just, you know, longer neck. And that noise was a raven. That's from a whole different one. Bewitchment, which is one that adds a bunch of cool magic stuff. Let me see. Where are you, Mr. Duck? I feel a little bad, but it is the way of Minecraft. Come back here. Actually, maybe I would have been better off just punching it, because then I can poison it, I think. And it drops duck, which can be cooked like chicken or any other animal meat-based drop. Oh, what's that mushroom? I don't recognize it offhand. Oh, I forgot I added magic fungi to this. I sometimes go through, and so I've like had this mod pack for a little bit on like a private server. Will they eat you since you are a frog? Lol. You can eat mushrooms, but this is a special magic mushroom, and so is this one actually. And so is that one. Boop. I haven't looked a lot into the magic fungi mod. I just know that you can do cool stuff with the mushrooms. It adds a bunch of unique mushrooms with, you know, unique mushroom stuff. That sentence lost coherency as I went. Mushrooms, yes. I know you can, like, create, like, fun potions that are not, like, base game potions with them, and you can also somehow craft... I'm quite sure you can craft armor with the magic mushrooms somehow. I like I said, I haven't looked into it, but yes, no coherency. So there are mushrooms that I can eat. I don't know if I can eat the magic fungi mushrooms, but I wouldn't want to because they are more useful as ingredients for other things. I should have known that the leaves on this would not actually decay. It is between two other trees that I don't feel like chopping down, so breaking the leaves manually. I want some saplings for this tree because it's a tree that can be used for magic-y stuff. For a different mod, which is called Bewitchment. And plus, it's the Elderwood actually looks kind of cool, so I might use that for something decorative. Okay, I did get some saplings there. Oh, hello, piggy. Pig. Why is Pig ignoring me? Come back, Pig. Pig. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to stare Pig in the eyes, in the face, because I am the same height as the Pig. Boop, 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 boop. Just me and Pig. Pig. I have to now walk backwards to get this. Pig and me. Me and Pig. Sometimes the mirror movements throw me off. Come on. Don't you want to pose with me, Pig? Me and Pig. There we go. I think I got that. I think that the like all of the tiny mode origins are just really, really cute. Right, so my initial sentence about magic fungi mushrooms was not coherent, but did it achieve coherency by the time I finished trying? By the time I stopped and restarted. Oh, I see, there's more trees that are attached. So the main goal, oh, and then there's another mod that makes, well, I actually think it might also be part of Promenade, that gives standard vanilla Minecraft animals different colors. So, like, there are pink piggies, and there are pigs that are also the black. And so black and pink and maybe white, I think, are the colors that are available for. I mean, pink is obviously the default, but. And then cows have a couple of new colors with that mod, so. Okay. Yeah, I think that was a pretty good haul. Oh, you know what? I should. Okay. I was gonna say. I'm gonna make a little waypoint and call it home. I have mini-maps and mini-maps. Because I can. Because it's modded Minecraft. But it's nice because then I am much less likely to get lost. Which way was my home again? Ah yes, there is this dot on the map that will always be there. I wonder if I can get it to stop being there, because now I'm just thinking about, like, there could be times where that becomes annoying that it's always there. In the meanwhile, make some more planks, and that will probably be enough to finish. Boop. And then boop, boop, boop. I think maybe one more level? Whoops. I forget sometimes when I, like, try to just kind of go jump a little bit that there is no such thing as jumping a little bit. I also just fall off of things easily if I'm not paying attention. Oof. Sorry to anyone who was watching that just now who possibly gets motion sick at watching things like that. But boop boop. I'm just looking back at my chat, and the last thing you said was just, yup, no coherency, and I'm just haunted by it. Alright. Is this... Is this a good level? Do I want it to be taller? I could always make it taller later if I decide I do not like the height for some reason. So... for now, we'll call that good. I'm only coherent because I now have also evening Adderall. Ah, yes. I'm actually, was about to say, like, you know, not to be, like, personal health TMI on main, but then I'm like, no, you know what? I want to normalize talking about mental health and medication stuff. So I actually, so in my case, I mean, first of all, I haven't been technically officially, I haven't gotten the neuropsych test to officially diagnose me with ADD. But more importantly, ADD medication is actually counter-recommended because of some of my other mental health stuff. So I'm finally talking to it. I've been on some basic psych meds for a while, just for like some mood stabilizer stuff that's worked super well for the stuff that needed mood stabilizing, but I never really stopped to think about how completely ineffective the treatment for anxiety was until I finally went to talk to a new psychiatrist, actually because the ADD was really getting, like, realizing I had ADD, which is really something I only came to terms with in the past, like, year or two, made me be like, maybe I should actually be talking to a person who can prescribe psych meds again. I didn't either. My PCP gave me a diagnosis and said a test would be a waste of time. I wonder if some of the different ADHD meds would be less counterindicated, or is it all of it? Yeah, it's the stimulant class. So I think non-stimulant class would maybe be less counterindicated, but the psychiatrist I'm working with, she also very quickly noted that from my description, I actually like her a lot. She just kind of took everything I was saying at face value and is like, it just feels nice to just kind of be believed, you know? Does that mean the non-med ones like tea and coffee is also bad? Lol. You know, I actually have found that too much caffeine hits me really, really, really bad. Though, like, the reason that the psychiatrist is reluctant to, actually prescribe it is because, like, I am, you know, I just talked about how I want to destigmatize this shit, but it still makes me hesitate, because it's a thing that people can be, like, very harsh and judgmental about. So I'm diagnosed with bipolar. I have been, like, medicated for it for many years, and, like, the medication, like, and doing great with that. Like, so, like, honestly, like, I'm super lucky. The bipolar is, like, pretty much completely treated with medication. Like, I don't experience any symptoms of that anymore. But it means, so it's why I didn't get put on anxiety meds in the first place, because I have really bad anxiety, and that's definitely a thing that's been right. Thank you. Yeah, knock on wood. It's, you know, it's been working for a while. That's one thing that's kind of unnerving, honestly, about changing up my meds. I just realized I can talk and play Minecraft, so I'm gonna do that. Changing up my meds is a little nerve-wracking, because it's like, I've been doing so well for a super long time. Sure hope all these med changes don't make that change. But, like, the point being, I have been really not well medicated for anxiety ever. That's the gate. I want the fence. Like, I have anxiety. Anyone who knows me, anyone who is watching the stream and knows me, knows this, I am sure. Like, I have, like, very significant, like, fairly severe, like, generalized anxiety and specific anxiety about a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of phobias and stuff, and it's just never been well treated, because when I was first going on medication, it was like, alright, first thing we're dealing with is bipolar, and then, like, the problem with bipolar, as opposed to, like, other types of mood disorders, is there's the concern of, like, when you have other comorbid stuff, anything that pushes you up has the risk of pushing into mania, and anything that pushes you down has the chance of pushing into depression. So, like, you know, especially when I was first starting out, like, mood stabilizers were the way to go. So I am on one main mood stabilizer, and then, like, I got put on a second one that was kind of a... Oh, oops, I forgot I had been about to craft that, and I, like, didn't finish. Mood stabilizers. I was put on a small dose of a second mood stabilizer with the intent that it would help my anxiety, And I could never really, I finally kind of had to acknowledge that I don't think it really ever did anything for my anxiety, um, except it made me tired, like, at night. So it fixed my insomnia, which, you know, did something. Um, so now I've been talking to a psychiatrist again, and she's like, actually, rather than uh, going straight to ADD meds, why don't we try to actually get the anxiety dealt with better and then see if that by itself helps the ADD symptoms, because there's a lot of comorbidity there. And I'm like, this is true and I know this. And also, you know, honestly, it would be nice to not be like non-functionally anxious like more of the time than I think is really functional. So yeah, that, and this is, and I think that officially makes this the stream in which I mean, to be fair, a lot of other games I stream, there's like a lot more that I have to focus on. So Minecraft, I've actually come to this conclusion before, but Minecraft is like the perfect game to be talking about like anything that just kind of talking about things that aren't related to the game. It's really easy to do that while doing things in Minecraft, although I do find that I'm still sitting in the habit of, I get so into whatever I'm saying that I actually briefly forget that I'm on stream playing the game. True, but I always thought it was the other way around, like treat ADHD and anxiety might be better, but not the other way around, but unsure. I think that really depends on the person. In my case, the anxiety symptoms are distinctly worse than the ADD symptoms. So I think it's a valid approach in my case to be like, all right, let's try doing something about the anxiety first and then go from there. But in a lot of cases, yeah, the ADD and anxiety are so difficult because, in fact, that's part of the problem. And I also think there's a degree to which, although, like, this psychiatrist, like I said, she does, like, generally is taking what I'm saying to her at face value and, like, you know, trusting me to, but I think she also wants to just make sure, because, I think, again, it comes down to the bipolar, because there's such a danger with the stimulant class of medication that it's like, let's just make sure, like, that the anxiety, that this is, check how much of this is anxiety, check how versus ADD, and like we'll re-examine if I'm like, yep, nope, I am no longer feeling super anxious all of the time, but I'm still having the severe ADD. Like, basically, anxiety and ADHD, when you have them comorbid, both make the other worse. And there are a lot of people for whom it's actually that they have more of one or the other, and treating the symptoms of one kind of makes the symptoms of the other significantly lessen. And I genuinely believe that in my case, I have actually more anxiety than ADD. So, and again, like that plus the let's try anxiety meds before we try you know, anything in a stimulant class is also a thing with other, you know, the other mental health considerations. And I'm like, sounds good to me, because do you know, like, you know, like I said, uppers can send you up too high, downers can send you down too low. Yes, which of the thing, you know, between a depressive state and a manic state, like, I could handle, like, you know, both are bad, but I live in utter fucking terror of bipolar mania. Like, it's a really bad place to be, and it's not a thing, and I've actually never experienced it. I've only had hypomanic symptoms, and so I am all for a like, I'm actually really happy that my new doctor is so concerned with that. Legit, yeah. Like, she she heard bipolar, and she's like, that is the first thing we're taking into consideration when we approach anything else here. And I'm like, yes, good, that's how I want it to be. There is no mental health issue I am having that is, personally to me, worse than that. And so even though it's been well treated and I haven't had symptoms for it for a long time, like, it's a chronic condition. It typically doesn't just go away, and it's just not something I want to mess around with. Anyway, so this was all super, like, I wanted to talk about it, and again, I think mental health and mental health medication is a thing that should be normalized, and, like, I was talking about it casually because in my case it is pretty casual, like, although the anxiety's not in a great place, like, I'm not suffering anything else that's, like, super severe, and it's okay even if I was, I'd want to, like, be open about that, just because, you know, it's just, there's a lot of societal stigma about stuff like that, and I would like to see that change. But that said, I think I need a break from it, because even though this has mostly not been, like, for me, like, where I'm at right now is not a stressful place, but it's sort of an intrinsically stressful topic, so, it doesn't have to be, but maybe not stressful, but, like, it's a little heavy, yeah, and I'm gonna stick with that. That's fine, my chest can be like that, and that's fine. I was trying to put it down on the thing, but I think I would have had to put, yeah, I don't think it'll ever actually be able to go on the floor level. So yeah, so I'm happy to talk about this. I'm also absolutely happy to go on at length about this, if you want to, like, hit me up in private. And I'm always open to talking about it on stream. It's just entirely likely that, like, now I'll hit a point where I'm like, okay, I'm done with that now. let's go back to focusing on the game stuff. So yeah, so I'm gonna take a break from the mental health and medication discussion, but, like, yeah, it's a thing that is, I feel is just a totally normal thing to experience and to talk about, and I want it to be a normal thing to experience and talk about, and I am having trouble transitioning off, but I want to talk about my house. My little Minecraft house. I have made a little frog house. I might change up, I might put something here for the entryway at some point, but it is a little frog house for my little frog character. It's such an idle curiosity thing for me that I don't need to talk about it at all, for sure. Oh yeah. Nah, and I hear that, and, like, I like to talk about myself, truth be told, and I honestly think in some ways I've almost made it worse by putting all the qualifiers of this should be a normal thing to talk about, and that's kind of preventing it from being preventing me from talking about it in a normal way. But next time maybe I'll try just talking about it and not putting clarifiers, because that comes across as being apologetic. Anyway, so my frog house. My theory is this: my character is a frog and can get dried out. However, the rain, like, it's either being in water or being in rain, can re-dampen my my wet meter at the bottom there. And so I had this theory when I was first, like, approaching a house build where I'm like, what if I made the roof out of fences? Because then the rain could fall through. Now, I found in practice that doesn't actually happen. However, I decided I actually really dig the aesthetic. It's kind of a cute, like, you know, it's this is not the Euphoric mod pack. Oh, also, hi, Tab. This is my own personal pack that I made on CurseForge because, I'm doing a solo world, so I wanted to have more control over, what mods were included and which weren't, and also what things were enabled and which things weren't, because I don't totally understand, like, I can do install mods from CurseForge, and I can even get as far as doing data packs, because I, like, figured out how to, because I really wanted the Grung origin, so I did, like, grab that data pack from Euphoric Curiosity, but there's like a lot of things in Euphoric Curiosity that are disabled, and I also didn't want to be beholden to the schedule on which that mod pack changes. I like Euphoric Curiosity. It's a lovely mod pack. The author changes it at a really fast-paced rate that I can't keep up with. So basically what I've done is I've taken the stuff I like from Euphoric Curiosity and made my own smaller mod pack that I'm just using for this solo world. OMG, just like Asuka seeing the stars through the roof. Oh yeah! I didn't even think of that. But it is. It just makes me happy. I feel like it's a good little froggy home design. And yeah. What else do I need? I could put my crafting. I've got my pocket crafting table, but I could put like a real one down. I'll even just put one here so it's like super out of the way. I need more chests. That's the thing I need. I see. Yeah, that nearly everyday update turned me off from it. Yeah, I don't want to speak ill because, like, I know that, like, people are having fun in Euphoric Curiosity. I'm still playing on the Euphoric Curiosity server, honestly, and, like, I know that, like, Lib's working really hard, but I just hit a point where, like, I've not really, I feel kind of guilty that I've not been doing as much with, like, helping with the testing and stuff, but I just can't keep up. Like, I hit a point where I'm just like, I need a break. I can't with the mod pack getting updated every couple days to every couple, like, I'd say 1 to 3 days. It felt like the schedule was getting to. I was just like, I'm gonna just, and then the server actually did get reset, and then I was like, I'm gonna step away and I'm gonna take a little break. And then I came back a week later and there were 5 new versions, I think. And I was like, okay. And, you know, I just have retired from testing, is basically what that came to. And I'm still, like, playing on the server occasionally because I do like the mod pack. And also, I get fun new ideas for mods from it, because sometimes new mods will appear and then I'll be like, ooh, that's cool, let me add it to my little mod pack. So, like, this is almost everything, not literally everything in here, but a lot of the basic mods in here I was first introduced to through Euphoric Curiosity. So, like, I'm super appreciative of it, for sure. This is kind of, I'm like, I don't know exactly what my goal was here, but, like, here is my list of mods that I can scroll through slightly slowly, so if anyone watching wants to try and, like, clock them all, they can. But I'm also, at some point I might, like, put up a list somewhere. But yeah, basically I was like, especially with wanting to stream a single player world, I was like, I want to have total control over what is and isn't in the mod pack. So it is the mods that I like and not the mods that I don't like. So, and not that there's anything against, like, for example, you won't see Doom in the Doom mod pack is very cool, but I find it very overwhelming and it makes the Nether very difficult. And that's a cool thing for some people, and I totally respect it as a super awesome mod that someone made, but I don't want to play it with it myself, so I just, you know, took that out. Yes, that mod pack introduced me to most 1.16, 1.17 mods that are either ports or similar to what 1.2 used to have. Yeah, or 1.12. I, like, my history with Minecraft is I played a lot when it first came out, like, you know, probably for the first, like, year, like, somewhere around the first time it came out, I was, like, really actively playing it for at least, like, a year. And then I kind of, all of my interests kind of go cyclically, so, like, I'll be really into one thing, and then I'll, like, take a break from it, and then I'll be really into something else, and, like, I often will circle back around to things. So, like, then I was playing Minecraft, and then I kind of got into another phase of playing really actively, like, a couple years, like, somewhere in between the time it was released and, like, the pandemic. And then I was, like, again, really active for, like, maybe a few months to a year. But both of those times I really just played vanilla Minecraft. And I didn't actually get that far the second time I started up again. So it was in the pandemic, I actually had a friend who set up a server who it was just a vanilla, I think it was 1.5 when we first started, and then got upgraded to 1.6 a little ways in. 1.15, sorry, and 1.16. And like to emphasize how very much I did not get very far in my like single player worlds from a few years previous, it was my first time going to the end with that mod pack, so it was helpful because then I had friends who could kind of explain it to me. So that was, so then I was like really actively into that for a few months, but then that server kind of died down and people kind of stopped playing on it, and I hit a point where I was like, I kind of did everything I wanted to do on this server, so and then I took, then I went kind of another break from Minecraft and wasn't playing for a while. But then the other thing that happened also over the pandemic, which is now an awfully long time, was I got really into watching Twitch streamers, and specifically a lot of Minecraft streamers, and I found that there was nothing that made me want to play Minecraft more than watching other people play it. Oh, did it stop raining? Yes, it did. And so that was like right about when I started like getting into, and then the thing that got me into modding was, I mean, quite directly, like the Origins SMP that a bunch of popular streamers have. I saw that and was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen, and that was what made me look up modded Minecraft in the first place. And actually the reason I came across Euphoric Curiosity was because it was one of the very few that had Origins as well as, I can't remember what it was. There was like 2 or 3 mods that I was like, I really like the sound of this set of mods, so I want a mod pack that has all of these. And there's like Euphoric Curiosity, another quality mod pack 2, and that's about it. There was like maybe 1 or 2 other like really small mod packs that didn't have their own server, and I was also looking specifically for like public servers. And so yeah, so that's actually how I got into Euphoric Curiosity in the first place, was because it had the stuff that I had specifically been looking for, and then a bunch of other cool stuff that I got introduced to through it. So I am very certainly grateful for that. And then I kind of took that really cool mod pack that introduced me to all those mods and was like, it was a lot of mods. And then I also, like, when it first started getting updated really frequently, I was like, I got to a point where I'm like, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. But yeah, like, I wanted to occasionally do like single player stuff like this, or like, play with not on the public server. And I had wanted to like get some of my friends into like a separate private server, but that never really ended up going anywhere. So yeah, so Euphoric Curiosity was great, and it introduced me to the concept of most of these mods, but then I just wanted to have more control over the mod pack I was using. Anyway, I'm trying to think what I was trying to do next here. Oh, I have plenty of logs, so I can make more chests. Let me finish building out my chests. Trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to say on that general topic, but no, I think that about covers it. And then, like, once I started playing my modded Minecraft, I'm like, I can never go back. And I say that, but that's not entirely true. Like, I actually still have, like, I am currently kind of vaguely active on too many servers, some modded and some not. Like, there's, since I've been really into watching Twitch streamers, I've joined a bunch of, like, SMPs that, because, it's a fairly common thing for Minecraft streamers to have like subscriber SMPs, and so there's a couple people that I was like, oh, I'm subscribed to them, I might as well join the subscriber SMP. And I also was saying, as I was saying earlier, I have dreams of someday maybe making my own, like, SMP, but I want to, like, that would be, like, for people, like, you know, subscribers or followers or something, but, like, I need to actually get somewhere as a streamer, I think, before that. But I decided, for now, I will play on my personal crafted mod pack and my single-player world, because that will be fun for me, and then people can see my cool mod. They're the cool mods that I want to interact with. And then, like, later when I do set up, like, maybe someday set up an SMP for, like, followers and such, people will already be familiar with the mods if they've been watching me play. I have played literally once, lol. Yeah, fair. I mean, what you doing tomorrow? Do you want to try doing the... Yeah, actually, you know what? I've got nothing going on tomorrow. And yeah, I'm sorry. I 100% forgot that you had asked me earlier. Okay, I get hung up on names when I know a person in real life. What do you prefer if I call you Tapao online, or is your real name okay? Just so I can clarify who I'm talking to in chat. Okay, that does make my life a little easier. We'll have to go over that because I currently still have a slight preference for not using my real name. So when we're streaming together, we'll have to, like, talk about that. But yeah, so yes, you asked me earlier what, no, you didn't ask me, you specifically commented that you had gotten the games and that we should do a stream, and I was like, yes, that sounds cool, and then totally forgot to respond to you. So yeah, I actually, I'm pretty sure I'm totally free, tomorrow. I don't have any plans, so yeah, I'd be happy to do a combo stream, of either, or maybe even both games, because I was thinking about this, and I was like, one of them is sort of fast-paced, and the other one is slow-paced, and also, like, the Yogg is a fairly short game, so I was thinking, like, doing both would actually probably be really good, so... I have a meeting at 5:30, otherwise I'm free. I assume 5:30 p.m.? But yeah, maybe around, like, 2? 1? Tomorrow? Like, 1 or 2 would be, like, my starting time, ideal starting time range. Oh gosh, 5:30 a.m. meeting would be, like, yeah, that's why I ask, because I'm just like, 5:30 p.m. is the most likely here, but you know what keeps bugging me is that I don't have light. I keep kind of being like, there's something in here that's bugging me. What is it? And the answer is I haven't progressed far enough to acquired light. But yeah, let me go to my phone and we can hang out, chat, and sort of stuff out. Okay, yeah, so we start coordinating at 1 and then maybe aim to start streaming by 2, maybe? Does that make sense? Now I gotta run away from the city. Sounds perfect. Great. Also sounds perfect to me. Okay, cool. So then I will also post about that on my Twitter, which, by the way, I have an associated Twitter account where I post about what I'm going to be streaming. If, like, you know, no obligation, but if you want to know what my stream schedule is, it's a good thing to follow. It's also, like, you know, in my, when you, like, look at my channel profile on a browser, like, you can see all of my stuff there. And, like, you know, I've definitely read that if you want to, like, get anywhere as a streamer, it's good to have presence on social media. And I was looking at the various social media, and I'm like, I don't have good ideas for how to engage in other platforms aside from Twitter, because like, Twitter kind of works well for me with my, like, general, I mean, even then I've mostly just been using it to announce, like, talk about what I'm streaming and when, but I'm occasionally using it to, like, share other random thoughts, and no one's really following me on it, so I'm kind of, but, you know, it's the easiest platform for me to interact with, I feel like, just because I am already familiar with how Twitter works, and short blips of like thought, like Twitter lends itself well to, I had a random thought, I'm gonna just post it, as opposed to having to like plan what you're posting. I mean, I could do Instagram, but I'm not great at taking photos, and like, you know, I know everyone, not everyone, but like a lot of people do the TikTok thing, but I just don't have good ideas for videos, so I haven't really looked into that much, but I should find that. Not that I pay any attention to Twitter. Well, yeah, I didn't pay attention to Twitter until I started a Twitter for my stream stuff, and now I spend too much time on Twitter, but that's a different problem. I need to link mine. I post to Facebook that I am streaming, but there's no way to auto post other than to Twitter. Oh, yeah. Like, and to be fair, Twitter is useful for short burst announcement style things also, which is another reason why I'm using it pretty heavily, because I think it's great for, hey, I'm currently live, come check me out, or like, I'm planning to do my next stream in like a couple days. Right, I got some logs because I was going to make charcoal. Oh, that's what was throwing me off. I kept looking at the crafting table like it was going to somehow form the interface that I needed for making charcoal, and it was never going to, because I need rocks. Oh goodness. I try to post to TikTok also, but Twitter is too fast paced. Yeah, honestly, I try not to spend too much time. Like, when I first set up, like, my new Twitter thing for my streaming, I was like, alright, let me not spend a lot of time on, like, or I don't even think it occurred to me, but I very quickly, like, I followed a couple, like, of the bigger streamers that I like, and, like, a couple of, like, famous personas from that I was following on my other Twitter, and like a couple of like, you know, asexuality activist people that I like. So a little bit of a spread, so it didn't just look like it was, I don't know. I don't actually think I gave a lot of thought about the optics of who, like, what it would look like based on who I was following, but like, I thought it would be nice to be following and like keep up with a couple of the things that I had previously been following on my original Twitter account. And then I got caught up in, oh my goodness, there's so many people talking about things, and I'm going to read all of it, and then I'm going to just doom scroll all the time, and then I'm going to come across all of this really awful drama that happens very regularly on Twitter. Oh goodness. So I did get to a point where I'm like, yeah, I need to put limitations. I cannot be doom scrolling Twitter like this. It is mental health bad. It is indeed the worst. Like, it's, you know, for all that, it's still like the platform I most want to be on. It's just, I need to be careful how I interact with it other than posting. I've never figured out what Galena ore is actually good for in other news. It's like a mod pack thing. I know it's something with the... Oops. I do not have the stuff for that. Anyway, I was originally just coming down here to get stone, and that's long since acquired, so let me get out of here. Actually, how do I only have 7 cobblestone? Froggy origin is so handy. Who needs ladders when you can climb walls? I imagine my character having like little sticky finger pads, like a froggo. I did figure out Streamlabs stuff with some nifty rainbow pride template. Oh yes, happens to me on Facebook. Oh yeah, the doom scrolling thing. I haven't officially quit Facebook, but I have. I think most people know at this point, I have a Facebook profile, but I am largely not on it because it's just, Facebook is worse than Twitter for me by a lot. Like, at least with Twitter, I'm mostly since it's like my stream Twitter, I didn't want to just like follow a bunch of people I know in real life because like I'm still vaguely trying to anonymize. Oh wait, was a way to do that. This I like the idea of having the marble, but I'm like, oh no, I ran out of blocks. And I was like, why am I not using planks? Yeah, so I'm trying to avoid following people I know in real life, so at least at least these are all strangers that are having, like, but you know, then sometimes it's stuff that's like relevant to me, even if I don't know the people, but Facebook, though. Facebook is a bad time because it's like, hey, on the one hand, it's like, oh, this friend is like having a baby or something. I guess that's nice, but I say I guess that's nice. I'm sorry, I actually have some hang-ups about pregnancy related stuff. I don't want to talk about that. That's a thing that I haven't explicitly banned because I don't want to use the terminology, but it's basically not a thing I ever want to be talking about on my streams. And I'm going to cite gender dysphoria as the reason. So moving that aside, so but you know, friend life updates like, oh, so and so is in a relationship with so and so, or like, you know, this interesting thing's going on in my life. But then it's interspersed with, here is a horrible trauma, here is a family member that you thought was okay who actually has really fucking horrific takes. And it's just, I can't. It's like why I don't read the news. It's too much. It's too much at once, and it's too juxtaposed. Facebook is life. It is where all my socializing is. Life event. Friends are having life events. Yes, and I like that's why I'm not quitting Facebook, because lots of people do invites through Facebook, and I want to be able to see those. And sometimes I do want to go on Facebook and like check up on specific people and see how they're doing. But when I just read the news feed on the Facebook feed, I can't. It's so frequently it just yo-yos from super positive thing to super awful negative thing, and it hits me harder when it's someone I know and I care about and something awful's happening to them. So I will go on occasionally because it is where people tend to post most of their major life updates, and I want to be kept apprised, but it is a lot. Alright. I very much enjoyed talking, and I'm not going to stop talking and interacting with chat. And in fact, thank you for chatting with me, because I love having people chatting with me. But I'm going to take a moment and focus, because I want to do a little bit of inventory management. And most of the stuff I'm doing in Minecraft, it's fine if I cut off in the middle and stop, but to actually organize shit, I need to like spend some time paying attention, because I need to think about where I want to put things. So I will check back on chat after I have finished establishing a bit of an order. Do I want maybe outdoor chests for food things? That might be annoying. In which case I'll do this as like seeds and saplings, and this will be food. That's one of the next things I want to set up too, is also like a farm. That is food. Mushrooms, maybe I'll put them at the end here. And I'll throw the books in there for now too. Let's take here for constructing things. That pretty much deals with my immediate inventory concerns. Wait, whoops, I put away all of the cobble that I needed to make the furnace. Doop doop doop. Alright, cool. Actually, maybe I should make signs, but alright. My intense focus mode is over, and I'm going to be back to the kind of swapping back and forth between chatting on random topics and doing things and then forgetting what I was doing and such and so forth. Like, definitely a thing to be prepared for if you're watching me stream, especially Minecraft. It's very easy for me to, like, I like playing Minecraft as sort of a chill thing where I can just talk about other stuff really easily, but I also am really prone to forgetting what I was saying in the middle, or doing. Like, either forgetting what I was saying in the middle of saying it, or forgetting what I was doing in the middle of doing it. So just a thing to be prepared for in my streams, I think. Oh, hey, that gave me extra blocks to make into signs. Of course, now that I, like, did the whole, alright, time for me to focus, I'm like, now I feel like there was other things I was gonna say, and I can't remember what they were. But gosh, I feel like, so I am eventually going to get neuropsych tested for ADD, but I feel like there's a part of me that just wants to be like, here, watch my Minecraft stream, and then tell me I'm not ADD, I dare you. Okay, this is going to be basic blocks, and this one's going to be wood, and this one's going to be food. I brought my bullet journal to my doctor. Oh, yeah. I have a lot of stories that I can pull on. Like, I've definitely seen, like, so I'm disinclined to name names of real life names of friends that I haven't checked with them how they feel about their real name being used online. So I will not specify who, but Anna, if you want to ask me later, I'm happy to tell you. But there was someone who is a friend who I saw complaining. In fact, I went back on, like, my personal Twitter at one point recently and was seeing some updates there, and there was someone talking about how they got their neuropsych test for AD&D at AD. I keep saying AD&D like a D&D. Attention, Dungeons and Dragons. But anyway, sorry. The friend was basically venting because they were super frustrated because they, like, got told on a neuropsych test, nope, you don't have ADD because you did well in school, and that automatically disqualifies you. And I just hear that and I'm like, so many levels of WTF. My brain is a paladin. Yes, AD&D. Alright, in that case, I'm definitely going to classify my brain as a rogue, but only because I like playing rogues. Right? That is literally wrong. Like, that's why there are so many adults that find out that they're ADHD. I'm just gonna say ADHD, and that'll fix the AD&D problem. Don't find out until they're older because they did well in school. Because, like, all it really takes is being interested in school. Like, especially if they were female hormoned. Yeah. Like, actually, that's a great term. Like, female hormoned. It is now all called ADHD, no more ADD. Okay, so I'm saying it wrong anyway, So yeah, like, it's the thing where it's like, it's the classic thing. Attention disorder does not just mean you can't pay attention, it just means maladaptive attention. There is also such a thing as hyperfocus, and the fact, like, can you not fathom the concept that there are kids that were really excited about school and hyperfocused on their schoolwork? I couldn't think of any other way to say that what meant, like, yeah, and it is the hormone that is the issue more than anything. That makes a lot of sense. Seeds. But yeah, like, I am very much a classic case of I did well in school because I liked school. Like, and even then, I have tons of stories about all the ways that I sort of slid under the radar at like, not being good at things. Like, one of my favorite high school stories, like, I did well in school. Sorry, cutting myself off to check chat. I did well in school. I was smart enough that not doing work stuff didn't bring my grades down enough to be not doing well. That's basically my exact same situation. If I had meds, I would have been freaking a rocket scientist or something. Like, seriously, yeah. I feel that. Like, I mean, I didn't go to a particularly prestigious high school or anything. It was just like a small town school, but, like, I was 9th in my class, even though I'm very sure, looking back on my high school experience, I was, like, I was very, very ADD. One of my favorite stories is Uh, Also, just a very like classic testament to how you can be ADHD and do well in school, which is like I had history class and I actually quite liked the class, but like I just never did the homework. And I wasn't trying to not do the homework. You know, I wasn't like it wasn't an intentional choice. Oh, I'm not going to do my homework. It just kind of never entered my brain. And I was like, I think on some level, I figured if it was a problem, the teacher would have said something to me. Because that's a thing I think I noticed that I did, was in school a lot. I would kind of analyze every class that I was in and kind of get a read on how much the teacher would let me get away with. So I could kind of figure out which classes I had to try hard in and if I wanted to get good grades, which that was another thing. It wasn't just that I liked school. I was specifically deeply invested in keeping my grades up, like personally, internally motivated. Like I was really excited about the idea of college and I really wanted to be able to get into a good college. So I was really motivated to keep my grades up. I did my homework because I was too rules oriented, but I did it 5 minutes before handing it in. I did that all the time too. Like it would often be like I would be doing it the morning of, but right, this one history class, I just never turned in the homework for like so we had like our school year was split into like 2 semesters, and so for the first semester I just did none of the homework. And it just didn't occur to me that I was doing that until I got my progress report. And I had a D in the class, and like, you know, standard American grade system of A is the highest, F is the lowest. Not that anyone is watching me right now, but in case anyone goes back and watches me that, or that I think wouldn't know that. Actually, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if Ted would know that. And I have no idea who's watching me right now. So, yes. So, American grade system. A is the best, F is the worst. And there's no E. I don't know why. It's A, B, C, D, F. That's always kind of struck me as weird, but I don't think about it that often. But when I do, I'm like, why is that? But it doesn't really matter. There might be an interesting historical story behind it, but I am queen of papers written at 5 a.m. in 1 hour. Yeah. Yeah. So. Oh no, I ran out of my train of thought. So I had a D in this history class. And I freaked out. I was like, how could I possibly have a D? Especially because I'd been like pretty actively participating in class and like doing well on the tests. And so I went to talk to the teacher and I'm like, what went wrong? Like, how did this happen? And the teacher was like, you haven't turned in a single one of your homework sheets since the beginning of the year. Okay, Tep did go to high school in the US, so probably everyone I'm talking to knows the American high school system, but you know, I feel like it never hurt. I want to be inclusive in case any random people from other countries happen to ever be watching. And I looked at my viewer count and it was higher than I expected. So yes, history class. I will finish this story. So I went to the teacher, how did I get a D in the class for my progress report? He went, you haven't turned in a single homework sheet this entire semester. I went, oh no, you're right. Oh no, I didn't realize it would be this bad. Can I turn them in now and like make up for some of that? And the teacher was like, well, I'll let you, but like you'll have a negative mark for all the lateness and like you probably won't be able to get back up to an A. And I was like, I was probably also like crying as I was having this conversation. It was like very emotionally unstable in high school. But I was like, okay. And I went home and of course I had the whole stack of homework sheets. I never like threw them out or I never lost them and just were sitting in a pile that, must have been relatively easy to access. And I finished like probably like 2 months of homework sheets in like a week. And although the teacher had specifically said to me that there was like no way that I could bring my grade back up to an A, I think he was just so impressed that I did all of the worksheets for the whole, like, I think also maybe he was enough of a good teacher to recognize what maybe was actually going on when he saw I turned all of the homework sheets in within a week, and they were all like correct and good and everything. And I like to think he was a pretty fun teacher, and I like to think that he knew enough to be able to look at that and be like, oh, I see what happened here. So in fact, he was so impressed by that dramatic turnaround that, and then after that, I was very on top of the homework because I had registered that in my brain as a must do this thing, and I did manage to finish that class with an A. So, but I feel like it's a very classic ADD story because I just the fact that I wasn't doing the homework, and it wasn't because I didn't want to, it wasn't because I was intentionally putting it off. I had no idea it was affecting my grade like that. I just didn't occur to me. Wait, I want to do charcoal. So yeah, so adventures in high school life and stories, and I just feel like that's a very classic story of how I basically just learned the rules of the system so that I could make it work for me instead of against me. And I did a lot of stuff like, yeah, the classic, I had a lot of those other classic symptoms like you were saying, Anna, like the finishing papers like super late or early in the morning before they were due, or like doing, especially when I had worksheets as homework, I would often just do them in the morning because I always got to school, like my bus got to school a little bit early in the morning, like on the earlier side. So I had time, so I'd get to school early, I'd sit in the cafeteria, and I'd finish all my homework. Oh no, my Genmaicha. It's almost gone. I'm so sad. I mean, I say I am so sad like I don't have a really easy source, but yes, I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I've been drinking a bottled Itoen Genmaicha, which was super tasty. And finally, at long last, through all of the rambling and other side projects, my house can be lit. I can have light. Boop. 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 I also, like, had a tendency of falling asleep in class, but I really carefully worked out what classes I could get away with that and which ones I couldn't. And I mean, to be fair, it's impressive that I had any classes I could get away with that in, but like, there were some teachers who were very lenient, and I realized that one of the reasons for that is because I did generally do very well in school, so I think that they were able to look at that and understand that I was like bored in class. Actually, and that kind of dovetails into two of my other favorite high school stories. One of them being sort of the general doing other stuff while I'm supposed to be in class. And swimming with the fishies. Hello, fishies. Whee. Sorry, I got distracted, but... Well, I mean, of course I got distracted. I am having conversations, and I am playing Minecraft, and at any given moment, I may switch between those two things at random, because that is how ADHD brains tend to work. It must have been a really easy going to school. I had some teachers who were very strict and some who were very lenient, and I was good at school because I was internally motivated, which, let me tell you, that just makes an astonishing difference when you like school and or are motivated, but especially in my case where it was I liked most of the things that I learned in school, and I was really motivated to get good grades, and some of it came naturally to me too. Like, I have really, really, really good reading comprehension, which is an incredibly useful thing for American high school. Like, the number of things I could just learn in totality just by reading the textbook, like, definitely made life easy for me. Which was another way I worked around the ADHD problem. You were talking about ADHD, which just makes it extra funny that I'm having these, like, total ADHD moments while talking about ADHD, yeah. Um, so yeah, so I had actually a fairly easy time in school, but it was largely because I had a lot going for me. Like I had my academic talent, like my actual natural academic talent. I was very good at learning, I guess learning systems in a way, like learning what teachers would put up with, so I could figure out, so I could kind of assess, okay, this class I have to really try hard and put all of my energy into focusing on, but this class the teacher will be chill about it because they, oops, and this is why I'm not in a hardcore world. I should have Universal Graves on, so I'm gonna try to get back to that, and maybe I should wait until it's actually day. I don't think my items will expire. Let's see. Yeah, it's almost day. There's this weird bug that I've never quite been able to figure out what is going on with it, where every time I respawn, I will get a new modern industrialization guidebook. Someday I'll look into why that happens. But yes, so natural skill at reading comprehension, which is one of the singularly most useful skills in modern academia. Very good at figuring out which teachers had tolerance for me not paying full attention when it was clear that I, like, knew the material. Because that's the thing, like, a lot of I found that there were plenty of teachers where if I was doing really well in the class, they'd look at that and go, oh, this is just a kid who's not getting challenged enough. I'll let them get away with just being distracted. Whereas other teachers were super stickler about that. But then it meant that I could kind of spread out my spoon. Like, I could spread out my energy. So, like, I could save energy in the classes I didn't have to focus as hard in, so that I could spend all that energy in the classes that I did. And yeah, so through that and many other various coping strategies, like, I also, like, even as a kid, like, I had really detailed planners. Like, I loved getting little calendar planners, and I would just write out, like, my schedule and my homework assignments and stuff, because I knew I was super bad at remembering those, and I just had really good coping strategies to work around it. Alright, it is daylight. I'm going for it. So yeah. There's a config line in the modern industrialization config file in which you can change it. Okay, good to know. I will do that. I'll try to remember to do that after I am done streaming. Hello, little... I like Universal Graves. Like, it just creates a little version of your head that is full of your items. Alright, so my new goal, just to explain what I am actually doing in the game, I've decided I'm gonna go over here where there is a plains biome and collect some Croptopia seedlings, because I like farming. Hello, spider. Ah! Okay. That baby zombie was coming at me, but I figured it probably wouldn't make it to me in time, and I was right. If you leave me alone, spider, I'll leave you alone. That's so good to know. Like, I'm glad I brought that up, and thank you, Tep, because that has been driving me batshit in, like, another world that I've been using my custom mod pack in, and I will happily go do that after this stream. And make it so that never again shall my inventory fill with useless books. Hello, cow. I'm pleased. I like that Promenade does the actual... I think it's Promenade that does the actual... Not actual. Additional animal colors. Because it's like, it is... I'm not a big fan of real-life cows, but I do have a soft spot for the classic black and white spotted cow. Perhaps because I have a fondness for the state of Vermont, and for some reason, black and white, like mostly white with black spot style cows like this are just a thing I associate with Vermont. Perhaps because I've been to both the Ben and Jerry's factory and like the Cabot Cheese factory and an outlet, and both of those are very milk product based things. Do, 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 do. Ooh, yay. I have one of the mods I have installed is dimensional doors, which creates little rifts into pocket dimensions, and it's not, last I checked, the mod isn't fully stable, but it's gone through a couple of updates, so hopefully it won't like crash my whole game or anything, and I've yet to really run into significant problems, and I mean, hopefully that won't be like famous last words, but whee, let's find out. Boop. Ah! Well, that went poorly. That went really immediately went poorly. Wow! Lol, it is the classic cow color. Yes, back on that. But okay, so that was an adventure. So dimensional doors, like I said, it's like a thing where there's these little pocket dimensions, and I didn't quite notice that that was not a floor so much as a thing with gaps, and I assumed that I was just about to fall out of the world. Like, you know, that's what I would have expected, right? It would be like, okay, you fell into the void, you are now dead, and you've lost all the items that were in your inventory, which would have been fine because I'm early game enough that there's nothing here that would have really sucked to lose. But instead, I seem to have fallen into a bizarre limbo dimension that I've never seen before, and I am, well, maybe I don't want that to look at me, actually. What is happening? Ah! This is so freaky! Okay, sorry. I'm gonna take a moment. This is a thing that I have never seen before. So it is apparently what happens when you fall through into the void, or I'm guessing it's just the thing that happens when you fall into the void when you're in a dimension door, pocket dimension. I want to know what that is. Solid static. And this is one of the reasons I think dimension doors are super cool. They have a lot of atmospheric effects. And I've never been to the limbo dimension, and it is so cool and so creepy. And so although there is clearly an exit that I saw, I have not left yet because I am not done exploring the limbo dimension, because again, this is so cool and so creepy and so cool. So this one is from the mod Dimension Doors, if anyone is like looking at this and thinking about trying out their own mods. And this is just the coolest shit. This is the coolest shit. There's not a lot of things in the mods that I haven't like seen before. Okay, so it looks like those eyes only open when you're looking at them? Question mark? I just want to know how this limbo dimension works. It is creepy, yes. Yes, okay, so it seems if I look away... Nope, nope. I couldn't actually tell it. Oh my gosh, that's such a cool effect. Alright, I should leave, but... Oh man, ominous creepy eyes that teleport you back into the limbo space. Oh. I don't want to leave. I want to explore limbo. I should probably leave though, because yeah. Please. What? That rift didn't lead anywhere. Wait, is limbo leavable? Alright, let's find out. Cool. Alright, guess I'm exploring limbo. Okay, okay, now we're gonna test. I saw an eye in the corner of my screen, but I'm not gonna look back at it, and I'm gonna see if it still does the teleport thingy, even if I'm not looking at it. Okay, my map seems to be telling me where monoliths are. I'm not sure if the monoliths are the potential rifts or if they are the eyes. I feel like it is more likely that they are the eyes, but I guess I will find out. I also don't know what I'm collecting right now. There's just blocks, and I was like, I gotta pick. There's blocks. I can mine them. Oh, hello. Okay. So that creepy thing with the eyes is just gonna happen. Good to know. Alright, so this is such a cool thing to have, like, encountered for the very first time live, I think, anyway. Oh man, what a spooky dimension. And And, okay, so I've collected a bunch of unraveled fabric and frayed filament, which hopefully can be used to do something to help me get out of here. This will be... So Minecraft has become adventures in how to escape the dimensional door limbo. Can I not take fall damage here? Seems like. Okay, in which case I can make full use of my bouncy frog powers. I don't want to find out if there's another void in limbo. Okay, it is possible to leave limbo. Ah! Creepy eye! What happens if I... Can I attack the creepy eye? Can I get there before it opens and, like, go... No. Nope, creepy eye just... Creepy eye just teleports me. But creepy eye teleports me weird places, which is potentially useful for finding... Because there was that one rift, which I assumed would be an exit, but it didn't actually go anywhere, so I assume there will be more like that, and I just need to find the one that does go somewhere. And, I mean, it is building me a map, so... Oh, huh, alright. Maybe those little dots are... I guess it would be... I was gonna say maybe it would be more fun if I just looked on my own without trying to rely on maps, but then I'm like, you know what? What else are maps for? Or maybe the dots are just the solid static. Can I harvest that? Looks like. No, looks like not. It said that it was harvestable, but then again, can I mine this? Doesn't always know. Oh wait, but I also have break progress. It's right there. Like, to clarify what happened there is I just did not look at the break progress. So I forgot that it was there, so I just was seeing the top part where it says currently harvestable, and I didn't notice that it was slow. Oh, don't forget about my grung water meter. You are right, and I don't have any water on me. I was gonna say I should carry water, but then I'm like, but I need a bucket. But then I also remembered I don't need iron to make a bucket, because I'm pretty sure I have whichever mod installed allows me to make buckets out of logs. So, for next time, I will remember... Once I eventually escape this strange hell dimension. Well, it's not really a hell dimension. That's because, you know, the Nether is, like, more literally a hell dimension. This is a strange... Exactly what it says on the tin. It is a limbo dimension. Hello, creepy eye. Whoa. Glad that fall damage doesn't exist here. Someday I shall escape this endless plane of torment. Oh, not torment, but... this endless plane of nothingness and creepy eyes. It is... Okay, I, like, kind of want to go poetic, but I'm not good at... Oh, shit! Oh my god! I did not expect the huge creepy eye. Okay, everything's fine. There's just a terrifying eye staring down at me from the heavens. Everything's fine here. Everything is totally normal and fine. This is definitely not a horror... not a horror game, I swear. Maybe if I stare it down it will be less creepy, I was thinking as I was climbing up, but nope, that never stopped being creepy. I'm gonna stop looking at it now. Okay, so that does explain the thing with the eyes. So the little eyes are teleporting me back up into the big eye, which is spinning me back down into the limbo area. Okay, right, I'm gonna start going towards the little dots on my map and seeing if that does anything useful. No, in that whatever it is marking as a monolith is, clearly an eye. Okay. That was not actually. Well, let's just pick a direction. That eye is probably gonna teleport me, because I think I've determined that it doesn't stop teleporting me. Oh, you know what else I can check is if there's a way to craft. The sound is spooky too. Because I know you can craft doors, and I wonder if I could go back to the original rift that I saw and, like, craft a door out from there. But I would need an ender pearl. That's not helpful. What are the... there anything that you can actually do with unraveled fabric? Not obviously. That's fine. Well, I'm gonna go towards that big creepy block of red. It's a goal. And in a strange, endless limbo dimension, terror limbo dimension full of eyes that stare at you creepily. This is very Magnus Archives now that I think about it. This is like, especially with the giant eye looking down on you from above, that is like extremely beholding. I need to remember to show my friend who is very into the Magnus Archives what this looks like. I don't need to collect those. I already determined that they don't do much. No, creepy eye. Did I see if I could punch it? Oh, punching it just speeds up the process. I see. Okay, I was headed towards, yeah, creepy red. Oh gosh. Oh, hello. More creepy eyes. That's fine. I'm just gonna go past them. It's gonna be fine. They're gonna teleport me and that'll be fine. Ah! So, in today's episode of Modded Minecraft, spooky limbo dimension forever. I'm sure another rift will appear eventually, and everything is going to be alright. And I actually just realized that it does show me where those eyes are on my minimap, so I could be avoiding them if I tried. I want to know what the red is. It might just be another way to fall out of the world and this time permanently. Again, let me just review. Yep, I don't have anything that will really suck to lose. Because that's certainly a thing I can try. If it is a fall out of the world level void. There are eyes there. Let's find out! Whee! Okay. I didn't even fall into the red. A hint to escape. Get low. Yeah, that was... So I wanted to go find out what that big red thing was. Ah! Oh, I finally reached my destination. And then I was like, okay, it could just be an infinite falling void. And I was like, what if I just jump into the falling void? And so we're gonna find out. Nah, it worked. I have escaped. Where am I? Oh goodness. Oh, that is not very. Oh, it's close-ish. It'll be fine. That was the coolest thing. I love dimensional doors. Oh my goodness. I loved that. That was super, super, super cool. Thank you. Congrats, yes. I found a way. I was correct to examine the things that looked different on the map, which was the red spots, and then see what happened when I jumped into it. I mean, that seemed like the next logical conclusion. Oh no, back to fall damage. Oh well, eventually I'll get like a bouncy hat or something. I think maybe I will not go into a new dimensional door just yet. I'm gonna stop. Oh, there's something attacking me, that's why. I mean, maybe I could go into this dimensional door just to get away from the mobs, but meh. Problem is that as a grung, I am somewhat slow. So the monsters can catch up to me pretty easily. But that's fine, because I jump good. Well, it's not fine. Maybe I should actually just try jumping on top of a tree. There are many skeletons, but... how long do we have until day? I don't see... Oh, there it is. Oh, a good while, I see. Well, at the very least, I will take my brief respite of being on top of a tree such that mobs can't easily get to me. And cover health. Alright, I am headed that way. Man. I actually am genuinely excited that, like, my very first time experiencing the dimensional door limbo was live, just because I totally forgot that my chug was gone. That's fine. I got water. Because I think, like, that was a lot more interesting to live stream as something I had never seen and didn't actually know how to escape. Whereas if it was something I'd run into before, I could just be like, I got this, I'll just, do the thing. And so next time it happens, I will just be like, well, I got this, and do the thing. But for this time, I was able to be like, have the authentic first time experience. Let's see. Yeah, do I have patience to wait? I do not, but I got a little bit more food I can recover my health bar with. Oh, and I'm all out. You know what I can do is I can make a break for the water, and I find that most mobs can't really get to me if I just am swimming underwater, except for drowned, but whoops, I gotta be a little more careful about the fall damage thing. Doop-a-doop-doo. Make a run. Not that I can run very fast, but I can try. Oh! Crops. Always stop for crops. Oh no. And my grung, in fact, my grung water meter has run all the way out. Ah, creeper. Run away, run away, run away. You know what? That fruit tree is not actually that important compared to running away from all the mobs. Doop, doop. Bye! Alright. Relative safety. Do 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 do. Indeed. Have got to the river successfully, and I was correct. It was correct. Water is a good way to avoid mobs. Especially if you can just have infinite breathing underwater. Let's see, what else do I have for food items? It is fun being semi-aquatic. It will be especially exciting when I eventually get more around to doing more exploring and theoretically find an ocean. Because let me tell you, being a grung is a fun way to go ocean exploring. It's not as good as being a mer person would be, or merling, because I don't have, like, I still don't see well in water, and blocks are still, like, slow to break, but... Hello, fishies. Hello, squids. Ah, almost day. That is nice, because I don't know for 100% that this... actually, I was gonna say, I don't know if this river is gonna actually go back to where I need it to, but it looks like it will. I have no idea what can be done with this. So I now have frayed, like, unraveled fabric, frayed filament, and infrangible fiber, which all sound like, nonsense words for reality-breaking things from Dimension Doors. And I would like, at some point, to look more into what those things actually, like, if those things do anything, or if they're just, like, basically decorative. And I mean, if they don't do anything now, it's always possible that whoever is coding the Dimension Doors mod has plans. And see, that's a great example of one where it's like, if I were not still, like, at least occasionally playing Euphoric Curiosity, I would not have come across Dimension Doors, and I mean, to be fair, I was still pretty actively testing when... Oh, is that an abandoned village? I was actively helping to test the mod pack when the Dimension Doors got added, I think, so I would have run into that either way, but yeah. Let me check out the vaguely spooky looking abandoned village. Because I bet there will be stuff. First village, yup. Oh no. Ah, I don't have a sword. Freeze. Eat 'em! Oh, oops, I hear the sound of zombie burning. If there were villagers here and they were zombies, welp. They gone now. Oh, in fact, there are several zombie villagers here. I can see by doing the tappy thing. Oh my goodness, will this cobweb please break? Okay. I don't know why those other villagers aren't moving towards me, but I would like to possibly be able to come back here, and I think if I make a break for it, if the villagers don't insta-die while I have these chunks loaded, I might be able to come back at night and do something more interesting here. Ah. Doopy 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 doo. One downside to being small is it is hard to notice when there are, like, gaps in the ground. Unless I go bouncing, which is, of course, the correct way to go. If I am a frog, I must hop. Well, I don't must hop, but I ought to hop. Alright, so I actually am, like, looking at the time, and I think I might call things once I actually make it back to my base, but I will definitely be continuing to do streams on this world. This has been super fun and, like, possibly what I should have been doing all along in terms of, like, I liked Hypixel, but I was streaming on Hypixel mostly just for, like, the name recognition. Not the name recognition, just because it was a known quantity, but it's like... But the thing I really want to be doing is playing modded Minecraft, so in the end this was a good call, I think. So close. So close. I will make it there soon. I also have, like, several other things going on. It's like, I have run out of water, and could also basically need to go back. Stuff. So, like, yeah, I think it'll be a good time. Wait, I didn't actually mean to climb all those trees. Okay. I will grab these cherries, though. I like having cherry trees. Alright. Last push. Almost there. Grab the tea leaves. Run. Well, I mean, run as fast as my tiny grung legs will carry me. Whee! Aw, man. I actually timed that right. Or gauged the distance correctly. It's not something that is a particular skill of mine. So close! So close! See that number dwindling. I don't know that I'm actually faster swimming than I am walking, but I assume I am, just because I am actively slowed a little bit on land. Hooray! Home again! Alright. And like I said, this is going to be where I call it, but I do have a camera, but I'm still going to do the thing where my little character faces the screen as I, like, just talk to the audience and say goodbye. But yeah, so this was super fun. I'm definitely going to do it again. My next stream is, as it turns out, going to be tomorrow, and I'm going to be streaming with Tapawa of Vulcan, and we haven't worked out all the details, but we'll be playing probably the Yogg and or Overcooked 2, and that should be super fun. And then I also have a stream scheduled for Sunday, and I plan to play Reciteer. And then, yeah, Monday I have the Otome game stream. So, yeah. So, thank you so much to everyone who came out to watch this. I will definitely, I think the next time I'll be playing on this world will probably be next Wednesday. I think I was going to schedule that for 5 p.m. for next Wednesday. So if you're interested in this Minecraft world, you can come back on Wednesday. But if you're interested in me in general, consider my many streams in the next 3 days. So thank you so much to everyone who came out to watch. You were all so great, and I appreciate you so much. Bye!